bienvenidos a Adelante Chicago. I'm Lourdes Duarte. Thank you so much for joining us today. Well, as a new administration prepares to move into the White House, immigration advocates fear of what may lie ahead for undocumented immigrants. One of those organizations is the Illinois Venezuelan Alliance. And here to talk about how they're preparing for those possible changes is Tania Cristina Flores. She is the Cultural Competency Program Coordinator for the Illinois Venezuelan Alliance. We appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay, and we have so much to talk about because I know that your organization is also planning a big Thanksgiving celebration for many of our new arrivals here in Chicago. So we'll get to that in just a second. But obviously we have a new administration. There's been talk of changes to asylum seekers or the way the process works for asylum seekers. What are some of the things that you're watching right now?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are scared. If you ask people how they're feeling about the new administration, about 40%, I think, were polled, are feeling fear. So one of the things we're doing to prepare is by having legal clinics, which we've done in the past, because there still have been a lot of people that have not filed in for their asylum. So they can contact us and we would be happy to connect them into our legal clinics.
Yeah, I know one of the things that has been talked about is this idea of how important these work permits have been for families because it's allowed them to live independently, get their own apartments, have a job, provide for themselves. And I think there's a fear right now that maybe those work permits may be lifted, which would put them in a really tough situation for many of them.
Everything's a possibility, right? But it's really hard to predict what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The only thing that we can take control now is of taking action. So if someone has not, made their application, there's still a lot of people that haven't. For them to take action and do those legal clinics is what they can do. I mean, we're so blessed to live in this country where we have a lot of opportunity. And these new immigrants are here because they want to obviously build and create something. And as an organization, we want to support that.
Okay. So now what I'm hearing from you is now is a time to act if you haven't filled out that paperwork or gotten the process started.
Absolutely. Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. The city has also talked about moving out of the shelter system that housed many of the migrants for, the last couple of years into this one system initiative where it would be combined with homeless shelters and migrant shelters. How is that going? What role does your organization play in making sure that goes smoothly?
Sure. I mean, we've always collaborated with whoever is helping and supporting these immigrants. In this case, the reason why it has become one system is obviously to reduce the expenses and to unify it. It was one of those systems put in place as an emergency response. And now that more immigrants have started getting their own apartments and moving out of their shelter system, then they've decided to make that move, and we're very gracious that they still continue to support the immigrants and helping them transition into an independent life and building their life here in America.
Which is so important as they wait for the court process really to play out for their asylum cases, which in many cases can be years. They may be waiting years for them to go to court, right?
That could be the case. It all depends on, what their legal case is, and I'm sure their attorneys are providing the right guidance for them in terms of what that process looks like individually.
Okay. All right. I want to talk about the events that you've got coming up because your idea is to make sure that many of the migrants and the new arrivals are feeling at home, are feeling like they're being cared for, right? So you're developing a program for Thanksgiving. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so this program has been 3 years in the making. The first year it served about 550 people, then 1,100, and now we're seeking to serve over 2,000 people in 6 shelters. It's going to be on a Saturday. We're going to take a traditional Thanksgiving meal so that they can feel welcome.
We're actually looking, is this from last year, these pictures that we're looking at? Yeah.
Yes, they're pictures from last year. We had several organizations volunteer their time and, serve the immigrants. We have a returning chef of the Boiler Room that's going to be cooking those meals for us and are going to be delivering them. So I think we're just very excited that it's a way to say, hey, you're here. We want to welcome you home. This is your new home. This is where you get to create life.
That's interesting. Okay. So I know the Illinois Venezuelan Alliance early on, as so many people were coming into Chicago, there was, an influx of dollars probably or interest in helping the organization. Do you feel like that remains today? I guess, what are some of your challenges and struggles in trying to stay afloat and still trying to help some of these families?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the changes and demands change, right? We may not have as many immigrants in the shelters as they transition into life independently, but they need other support, right, with regards to resources, the systems that they're living in, educating the different communities that have now immigrants. So we will continue to support immigrants, continue to elevate them, and go where the need and opportunity is.
Because it's not just finding at home, it's also finding work, making sure you, health safety issues are all things that come up. So thank you for your time. I know I want to put the information up on the screen about the Illinois Venezuelan Alliance. There it is, Illinois Venezuelan Alliance, their celebration November 23rd. So if people are watching this and they still want to sign up, they can go to the Gmail or send an email to that address. And then also the website is Venezuelan Alliance. There it is, ilvenalliance.org for more information. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your support.